This is my Broken review. Broken is written by A. Rott. So, Broken is a modern spin off of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It has not really a similar love story, but definitely the actual Frankenstein's monster aspect is very, very similar in both books. For instance, in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Frankenstein is brought back to life using dead body parts as well as a large jolt of electricity. While in Broken, it has a bit of a twist. So, yes, Alex Franks, which is one of the main characters in the book, is brought back to life using a jolt of electricity as well as some dead body parts, but he actually needs that weekly. He needs a weekly treatment of an electrical shock as well as this red serum that his father has concocted. Um, the love story aspect in this is very huge, and it actually takes kind of influences the two themes of the book, which are the pain of losing someone that you held very dear to you, as well as the second theme, which is finding someone that takes away that pain and brings you joy, makes you forget about that pain. Pretty much the whole thing is about how Emma lost her boyfriend, love of her life, Daniel, in what seems like an accident. Well, after a while of grieving, which is what any normal human would do, she finds Alex. Alex is a new student, and she eventually starts talking to him. He's kind of mysterious, nobody really knows him, and it really blossoms into a friendship, and that friendship kind of grows very rapidly until they become they get feelings for each other. During the book, Emma doesn't really want to acknowledge her feelings, but after a while she does, and they end up going out. Overall, the romance aspect of this book is very, very intriguing because at one part, Emma doesn't want to fall in love as quickly because she just lost Daniel, but at the same time, she finds something in Alex that reminds her so much of Daniel, and that just so happens to be because part of Alex is in Daniel. Alex's part, or Daniel's parts, are in Alex, and it's just Daniel's soul is inside of him. His memories are inside of him. So whenever Alex starts having attacks, it's memory flashbacks of when Daniel died, and it's overall Broken is a very captivating story that if anybody were to read it, no matter what age they were, they'd be able to find some truth in it, to be able to relate somehow, because I'm sure everybody has experienced some kind of loss in their life that has affected them in a way that it changed their demeanor on how they viewed life. Maybe it just isn't worth living, or maybe there's something that they found worth living for. A cause, somebody, something, anything. So overall, Broken is it kind of just lets people in and lets people think, reflect on themselves. I know personally, it affected me a lot because normally I'm not affected by the loss of a life. It doesn't really, people die all the time, but I'm not going to go grieve. Instead, I'm going to celebrate what they had. I'm going to celebrate their life because I know that if I were to die personally, I wouldn't want people grieving. I would want people to celebrate all the great things I did, or how the impact I did made on their life. And this book has pretty much showed me that no matter how many people you lose, even if it's somebody that you love very dearly, yes, they're always going to hold a special place in your heart. But it wants you to think, what if there's somebody that is just like them? Somebody that can fill that void. At that point, wouldn't it just make it worth living? Wouldn't it make all the pain, all the agony worth it? Without it, if you just gave up on life, you might not be able to meet that person. And I think that's something that this author did really well. I think they were really able to emotionally drag the reader into the story and make them emotionally invested. Make them want to know what happens next to see if there's hope for themselves. I think this is also almost like an escape for other people to just reflect on what they're going through, or just kind of shut themselves out from the world and maybe imagine this utopia where things aren't as bad as they seem. How no matter how bad things get, it can always get better. Always. It's like a message saying, never give up. Always hope that there's better times ahead. Well, this was my book review of Broken by A.E. Roth. I highly suggest you read this book if you ever get the chance. I know it's personally affected me a lot.